Welcome to another learning episode in TV Escuela. I am excited for you to learn and enjoy our topic for today, and much more excited of the output that you can make out of it. I am teacher Leah B. Tampipi from Monte Vista National High School, your music teacher for this day. Are you ready? Be sure that you are holding your music module for this week, as well as your pen and paper. So listen attentively to follow my discussion. For today's lesson, we're going to learn about the vocal and instrumental music of medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque periods. Let us be guided by our objectives. At the end of this module, the learners are expected to classify vocal and instrumental music of medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque period. Improvise appropriate accompaniment to selected music from medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque period. Before we proceed, let us check your prior knowledge by answering the pre-assessment. Let me read to you the instructions first. Beside each pictures are jumbled letters. You will arrange them to form a name of instrument used during the medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque period. Write your answer on the first line. Then, on the second line, write the classification of instrument, whether it is aerophone, chordophone, membranophone, and idiophone. I will give you time to answer the activity. Are you done answering and ready for checking? Then, let's check your work. The correct answer for the first picture is bagpipe, and it is classified as aerophone. For the second picture, the correct answer is harpsichord, and it is classified as chordophone. For the third picture, the correct answer is harp, and harp is classified as chordophone. For the fourth picture, the correct answer is lute, and lute is classified as chordophone. And for the last picture, the correct answer is bassoon, and is classified as aerophone. Did you get all the correct answers? Good job! You are really familiar with the different musical instrument of the 3 different periods. Let us now continue with our lesson. Music during the medieval period consists mainly of songs and instrumental pieces that is based on the sacred text and settings, though secular music was slowly evolving about 500 after death to 1400. In the Renaissance period, music became a vehicle for personal expression. Composer found ways to make vocal music more expressive of the text they were setting. Secular music observed techniques from sacred music and vice versa. Instruments during this period were acquired from the previous era, but with improvements and innovation, only to be created in order to perform music of the period on authentic instruments. Musical instruments used in Baroque music were partly used already before, partly are still used today, but no technology. The important instruments that were developed during this period were harpsichord and organ. To give you more idea and knowledge about the questions that we have answered a while ago, let us continue with our lesson proper. Are you familiar with Gregorian chant, fugue, troubadour, madrigal, mass, concerto grosso, oratorio, and chorale? The words and terms I have mentioned are examples of vocal and instrumental music. Then what is vocal music? Vocal music is music that uses or emphasizes human voice. Sometimes instruments are used, but voice is the most important part. Example of vocal music is
Now is the month of May, when merry lads are playing. Now is the month of May, when merry lads are playing. Each with his bonny lass upon the greeny grass. upon the greeny grass. La 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 la. Fine then, why sit we musing, you sweet delight refusing? La 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 la. Why then, why sit we musing, you sweet delight refusing? La 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 la. Say, dainty knees and speak, shall we play Bally Rail? La 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 la. Say, dainty knees and speak, shall we play Bally Rail? La 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 la.
While instrumental music is intended to be performed by a musical instrument or group of instruments, although it might include some inarticulate vocal, but the main point is wide instrumentation. Here is an example of instrumental music. For you to know more about vocal and instrumental music, particularly during the medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque period, let us try this next activity. All you have to do is to listen to the music and classify if it is vocal or instrumental music. go, grade 9 learners! I'm sure you've classified the different music perfectly. Now let's learn more about the classification of the sample music into vocal and instrumental music. Let's start with Gregorian chant. Gregorian chant is the central tradition of Western plain chant, a form of monophonic, unaccompanied sacred song in Latin of the Roman Catholic Church emerged in the medieval period. Next is fugue. Fugue is a contrapuntal piece developed mainly by imitative counterpoint. The entire piece grows mainly from a single tune of strong musical character. Next is the troubadour music. Troubadour music is a court music, usually monophonic, but sometimes with improvised accompaniment. This music were performed across Europe by the groups of musicians called troubadours. It emerged during the medieval period. Now let's have the madrigal. Madrigal is a secular vocal polyphonic music composition which originated from Italy. It was written and expressed in poetic text and sung during courtly social gatherings. Madrigal is considered as the most important secular form of music sung during the Renaissance period. Another one is Mass. Mass is a form of sacred musical composition that sets text of Eucharistic liturgy into music. Next is Concerto Grosso. It is a form of orchestral music during the Baroque period, wherein the music is between a small group of solo instruments accompanied by an orchestra. Then we have the oratorio. Oratorio is a large-scale musical composition for orchestra and voices that incorporates narratives on religious themes. And the last one is chorale. Chorale is a musical composition that resembles a harmonized version of hymnal tune of the Protestant Church during the Baroque era. So those are the examples of vocal and instrumental music of the three different periods. Now, let's also find out if you know some musical instruments used during the medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque period. Observe carefully the instruments in the different periods and answer the questions that follows after the video. Number 1. What are the instruments during the medieval period? Question number 2. How important are those instruments during that period? Number 3. Which instrument is commonly used in the Renaissance period? And number 4. What are the differences between the instruments during the Renaissance from the Baroque period? You can surely answer those questions later on as we continue our lesson. During the Middle Ages, most of the music was vocal and accompanied. The church wanted to keep music pure and solemn because it was less distracting. The oldest medieval musical instrument was the human voice. Now listen to a sample music of medieval period. During the Renaissance period, most of the musical activity shifted from the church to the courts. Musical instruments used during this period include the cornet, harpsichord, and the recorder. Now, listen to a sample music of Renaissance period. String instruments such as the lute, violin, viola, cello, and double bass were used during the Baroque period. Brass instruments like trumpet, horn, sackbut were used. Popular wind instruments include recorder, flute, oboe, and bassoon. Now listen to a sample music of Baroque period. Now, do you know the importance and the difference between the musical instrument of the three different periods? Good! At this point, I guess you already understand about the vocal and instrumental music of medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque period. Now, to also give you an idea of how simple musical instruments are made, let's take a look on the video. among the instruments do you like the most? Wow, that's nice. What materials can you use in creating your instrument of choice? Definitely, you can use or even recycle some of the materials available at your home. This time, let's answer the assessment test. Kindly turn your module to page 5. Identify the following instruments below. Match column A to B. Write the letter of your answer on the space provided before the number. Are you done answering and ready for checking? You can ask your parent, guardian, or the one who's with you to check your work. Congratulations to those who got the perfect score. And for those who didn't, just still be proud of yourself for doing your best. So, are you still good? Well, I hope so, because we will now proceed to our last activity. This activity aims to let you express and challenge your creative minds by inventing a musical instrument that will be used as an accompaniment of music through improvisation. You will be rated based on the rubrics scoring guide found on page 4 of your module. Research on some of the musical instruments prominent in the medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque periods. What's your favorite instrument? Choose one and recreate them by using available resources around you. The goal here is to improvise. Be creative in crafting your own musical instrument appropriate for your chosen period. Using your improvised instrument, video yourself while singing or playing music as a singer of madrigal during the Renaissance period. Then, have it posted in Facebook or YouTube channel. Read the comments, monitor the number of reactions, and send report to the teacher. You will be given 1 week to improvise, and your masterpiece will be collected next week. Have fun! Now we're done with our lesson. I hope you have learned and enjoy our learning session. Just continue doing your best. Allow yourself to focus on what's important to you right now. But don't forget to also focus on what you want to be in the future. That would be all for today. Goodbye and have a nice day, everyone. Once again, I am Teacher Leah Borlaza Tampipi of Monte Vista National High School, Monte Vista District, your MAPEH line teacher saying, dito sa TV Eskwela, sa pag-aaral, Sama-sama. Bye-bye!